I think it is time for NXT to take over.
Suplex City, bitch.
What's your favorite match?
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
Who?
I told my father I'm gonna set up my own lucha league in America, and I'm gonna make it the best league in the world.
I'm gonna leave him in a pile of blood and urine and vomit.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Let's Talk More Wrestling podcast. The wrestling podcast where we review pay-per-views every single time WWE decides to air one. That's just the way things done.
Simply enough.
My name is Turbo Tony. I'm here with the beautiful, the wondrous, the exotic Matt Marsander. Yeah, how exotic are you?
I feel glamorous.
Glamorous, almost like a certain NXT diva, the Queen of Staten Island, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. How you doing this week, Matt?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been interesting. It looks like we're up for a very interesting Raws ahead.
Yeah, and also, talking about in this episode, obviously Night of Champions. That's what we're reviewing here. Yeah, we obviously, over the course of this week, we are reviewing this. We're going to do our regular episode over at the weekend. But we're going to go through the entirety of Night of Champions here. And what Matt's alluding to here is that, we've been hearing lots of news of Vince McMahon basically freaking out that the ratings are dropping. So you're expecting WWE to at least shake things up for a little bit going forward. But we're not here to review Raw this time. We've got Night of Champions to look after. So Night of Champions 2015. This year's incarnation of the event. The one night of the year that WWE says that all their titles are defended. All of them have to be defended. So you've got a show filled with basically all title matches with a few extra feuds added in here and there. Myself and Matt gave our predictions on the last episode that we did of the main podcast. Before we get into that, Matt, if they do want to send us any tweets, any questions, anything that might want to be aired on the channel, or just their general thoughts on wrestling in general, what is our Twitter handle?
At Talk Wrestle Pod.
It is at Talk Wrestle Pod. It is. Maybe I think sometimes on the more wrestling episodes, I should do the Twitter handle stuff. I don't know. Maybe
just to mix it up a bit.
Just to mix it up a little bit. Make it opposite. Just the way it is. Also, if you guys, like I said, if you do enjoy this episode, and you can join all of our other subscribers, almost 400 collective subscribers, hit that subscribe button, and you can also catch our episodes at the weekend as well. But Matt, we are here to review Night of Champions, and that's exactly what we're going to move into there. Are you ready for the review?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Let's do it. So, pre-show, we have the Cosmic Wasteland, which comprises of Stardust, and you've got the Ascension now in there, or was it the Detention, as they have now been so eloquently dubbed by our fans, against Neville and the Lucha Dragons. I'm sure Neville and Stardust are kind of sick of seeing each other at this point, but alas, there's nothing else better for them on the roster to do, I imagine. But there is, just not at the moment, not according to management anyway. This is a pre-show match. Matt, did you watch this pre-show? I don't know why I ask you every single week. I know the answer, but I have to.
Nope.
No, neither did I. I didn't watch it. I don't have enough time to watch pre-show stuff, to be honest. Considering in the course of 2 nights, myself and Matt have 6 hours of pro wrestling to watch. Yeah, this pre-show, pretty low on our list of
priorities.
Matt's behind on NXT. He doesn't have time for pre-show shit. So naturally,
yeah, that's really depressing.
Yeah, but not Total Divas, right? Not Total Divas.
Hey, I am.
Oh, you are behind.
I am.
You're no longer the authority on Total Divas.
I am a few weeks behind.
So at the very least, you can drop that moniker now. But still. I'm sure it was a decent match. I didn't watch it. They showed the some of the clips later on in the show, which I think is quite funny, because what's the point in having an exclusive pre-show when you just show us what happens at the end of it anyway? Yeah. It's a bit ridiculous. But still, Cosmic Wasteland do get the win. I expected they would, just to give them this fresh win. Neville did get his win at SummerSlam after all, so hopefully this is something that, when it comes to the Ascension and Stardust, why not put the Ascension with Stardust? They ain't going to be doing anything else anyway. So
I think I quite liked. Have you seen the like father like son picture that's going around?
What do you mean? I haven't seen it.
It's of Dusty and the Road Warriors.
Oh really? Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty nice actually. I like that. It's not as if I don't know. It just feels bad, kind of comparing the Ascension to the Road Warriors, but still we're there. So that was the pre-show. Didn't watch it, as we don't on this show. As a general, if you want to watch reviews of a pre-show, then we're certainly not the podcast to be giving you that. And to be honest, if you're that dying to find out what people think of pre-show matches, then that's a level of enthusiasm. Unfortunately, we don't entirely share, but still. Moving on to the main show, which myself and Matt definitely did watch, and it started off. I originally thought, I said on the episode over the weekend, that I thought that what they would likely do is do the Cena Rollins match first, but they didn't do that. They chose to do that as the last two matches. I was actually happier to see it done that way, because it seemed something a little bit special, made it more of a gauntlet for Rollins.
Yeah.
So if you're going to pick another match to start off the show, I don't think you can go that much wrong with having Kevin Owens start off your show against Ryback for the IC title. I'm looking through the match list here, and there isn't anything.
Hey, it's better than having Orton Sheamus.
Yes, which we've had over the last two pay-per-views. Thank God that is done. Let's just say that. So, I thought this was a fun match. I thought Owens made it with his ring psychology. We said in our predictions about that if anyone's going to make this match more entertaining, and it's certainly not a knock on Ryback, but it ain't Ryback. It would be Kevin Owens be the one that makes this match memorable, and he was the one who brought in that extra X factor and made it more than the matches that Ryback has had originally, even though he's basically been stuck wrestling The Miz and Big Show for 3 months. Some big moves here. Owens displaying some more of his elaborate move list, along the lines of some of the stuff he can just pull out of his arsehole through all those years of experience.
Of indie runs, yeah.
Exactly right. He's got a very large arsenal of moves, and that will just do well for him in these sort of situations. But it isn't any of those moves that does it. It's not even any of the flashy moves. Hell, it's not even the pop-up powerbomb. It's just a simple rake to the eyes and a roll-up. And that's what pins Ryback to crown Kevin Owens as your new Intercontinental Champion. Now, I did hear that some people disliked this finish.
I liked it.
I liked it. I thought as a heel...
If anything, that's what... Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, as a heel, that's how heels win titles, right? They don't do it by beating the face, like, legit. They cheat. That's...
They're not allowed to win it legit.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Wrestling 101.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing I liked about it is it proved a point, because I was thinking about this recently. Sorry, bunged up getting over a cold.
Yeah.
With regard to like Owens, for example, or just the whole era that we're now in, it doesn't really matter so much on heels and faces when you're our age.
Okay.
Because we'll love, like, a 6-year-old child, unfortunately, it feels really bad. Like, we're here as 27-year-old men, and it's like a 6-year-old child, WWE's demographic, unfortunately, will boo Kevin Owens. And they're meant to. Where there's us, and we're like, we fucking love Kevin Owens.
Yeah, well, I get that.
It's that one thing, it's just sort of like, don't forget, he is a heel.
Yeah. But, like, you say that, like, we were cheering for Sami Zayn to go against Owens and win back his belt.
Yeah.
I think it's down to the fact that the reason why we cheer for Kevin Owens is, one, we respect his work, but two, there's not a face that we want to cheer over him. That's the problem. It's harder to make a face nowadays.
Back over.
Yeah, right. So, and it's, that's actually quite a large subject really to tackle. The differences of a face and a heel today than 20 years ago is astronomical. It's so different now. It's almost like to be a face nowadays, you have to do everything that a heel did back then, sort of thing, rather than all the cheating and all that. But still,
yeah.
But yeah, to be honest, Owens will do much more with that gold around his shoulder than Ryback ever did with it. So hopefully creative has some sort of idea of what to... I'm not as worried about Owens after this as I am Ryback. You could probably see Ryback probably fading into a little bit of obscurity for a while they wonder what to do with him. Sure, he'll get his rematch, but it'll probably be on Raw, or if it is on a pay-per-view, he's not winning it back, right? So where does he go after this? Owens is best when he can brag about what a wonderful champion he is, and how he's a prize fighter. Well, and guess what? Now he is again a prize fighter.
But that was it, because he had his backstage interview where it's just like, I used to be a prize fighter without a prize.
Well, now he's got it. Now he's got one.
That's it.
And he will have much more And like I said, I feel like we're knocking Ryback here. I like we like on here on the podcast. We like Ryback more than most podcasts. Most people do, right?
Yeah.
But Owens is going to have much more memorable matches as champion than Ryback could. It's just Owens is on a better plane than Ryback is. It's just the way it is. But it was a good match to start off the show. And Owens impressing here and obviously getting the finish the way he did. That's how heels win titles. They cheat. And if they're not winning championships by cheating, then...
To be fair, it's been a long while since we've seen since a heel sort of pick up a win with something so simple as an eye rake.
Yeah, right. And I think that's doing some people in. It's like, it was such a simple thing. But I think WWE have had an issue, and we'll go into this in the Cena match later on, which, by the way, I thought was excellent, but had this one problem. They've educated their fans to think that you need a lot more to beat someone nowadays. So now it's sort of a thing of just an eye rake, and that beats you. Yeah, it is a little bit off, but to me, back then, that's how heels, they'll put their feet up on the ropes, they'll pin people that way. Just any way they get the win. I think heels, in general, have been getting way too many clean victories against opponents. Like Kevin Owens should have got when he beat John Cena. Yeah, sure, a clean victory. I'm not going to talk about it too badly, right? Because it was his first match in. But he's a heel. He should have cheated, right? He should have put his foot up on the ropes. He should have choked while the referee wasn't looking. This sort of stuff. It's not done enough. But that's why I don't have an issue with this. In fact, I implore it. Yeah, I hope it happens more with the heels going forward, because that general chemistry is what's missing a lot of the time. Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. Matt, this is a weird day.
Ooh.
Yeah. However, I think this is a weird day when I believe Rusev performed better than Ziggler did. And people might go, what? And be like freaking out. But I don't think Rusev gets the in-ring props he deserves. A guy his size doing the things he does. And he's been surprisingly crisp over the amount of months he's been in that ring.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets enough respect for his in-ring work. And it's not something that people associate with Rusev, but I'll say it right here. I think the guy should be at very least commended. Right? I tell you what, though, in terms of the match, though, I don't know about you, I think it's because of the storyline. I just wasn't that engaged. The match itself didn't get me that engaged. Were you the same?
It's not so much a case of the engagement of the match. It's just I no longer... I think it's... Okay, well, yeah, it didn't keep me engaged. But then a lot of that just purely comes down to the fact of I really don't care for this storyline anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I am
right. Like, who's gonna win? I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Summer Rae keeps touching those earrings that Ziggler bought her. I don't care.
Yeah. I tell you what the main problem of this is that it's just gone on too long. They've tried to stretch us all out, and it's just gone on too long. That's the issue. If they had packed a lot of this stuff over the course of even 2 months, the fact they've gone over so long with it now, that's one of the main issues. And
now it's like, Lana, that stinky fish, just sitting at home and being injured. Like, please don't throw out insults, because that means this is carrying on.
Yeah, and I've got news for everyone. This rivalry ain't finishing. It's not over yet. And like I said, it's just suffered the fact Ziggler went off to do his movies. They stretched it out, and then Lana got injured, so now they're going to stretch it out, because I'm pretty sure Lana getting injured has elongated this rivalry another month. So
I hate you for saying that.
Yeah, but isn't it true? I mean, you can see it happening even with the finish of it.
It's terrible.
Now, what happens in this match is basically Summer Rae tries to get involved for Rusev's, advantage, but ends up accidentally throwing a shoe at him.
Who throws a shoe?
Yeah, right. Is she throws one down the aisle first, and then one at her, not intentionally. She's trying to throw it at the referee. Hits Rusev. This apparently is enough of a distraction.
Who does
by
it
the way.
hit?
Oh, Rusev. Sorry, Rusev.
No. Who? What is he called? He's
Ruru. Yeah.
Ruru.
Oh,
It hit Ruru.
it hit Ruru. That's it. Oh man, it's hard to take him seriously, but to be honest, that's WWE's fault for bringing up
Ruru Crush.
Ruru. That's it. That's got to be his next T-shirt. Ruru Crush. So yeah, this costs him the match because Ziggler rolls him up, gets the pin, and obviously this causes Rusev to just basically freak out and just leave even without Summer Rae. She's distraught on the outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Ziggler pats her on the shoulder before taking off, and yeah,
Kiss on the hand as well.
Oh, and that. So they're still playing that up as well, and I'm sure they're still going to do a thing where Summer ends up with Ziggler. It's. But like I said, now it's lost the thing. I'm sure that this would have been. It would have gone over a lot better if they hadn't had all these roadblocks at there. And instead of just calling it quits and going, you know what, maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe the storyline's not meant to be. People are getting injured. People are going off to do movies. They've gone, okay, we'll just wait until people come back.
Maybe we should just stop because the crowd's clearly getting bored.
Yeah.
How about that?
But, yeah, it's good enough.
Think of that, did you?
That originally would be a good enough reason for me, but obviously it's not a good enough reason for WWE, so... Yeah, it's carrying on, and it isn't finishing. You're probably going to get at very least another month of this until Hell in a Cell.
Oh, I can't wait.
And this rivalry's so heated, Matt. Could it be in Hell in a Cell? It better fucking not be, but still. No, it won't be. I'm saying
the worst part is, it may well be.
No. Don't say that. Don't say that.
It could be.
I don't think I could take that for this episode. I don't think I could.
It might be.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Shh. He has some methamphetamine. That's what gets me over this, as I've said before. Yeah. And anyway, moving on. Dudley Boys versus the New Day for the WWE Tag Team Championships. New Day come out before the match, saying that they've had numerous signatures for their Save the Tables petition, which apparently includes current President of the United States, Barack Obama. And I just can imagine, they needed to Photoshop the New Day next to Barack Obama doing their dance. That's what they needed to do. If there was any case for Photoshopping, that's what needs to be done. The MVP of this match, Matt, is definitely, without question, Xavier Woods' trombone.
It's Xavier Woods' hair.
Yeah, and now he looks like a velociraptor.
Yeah.
Right? He looks like he should be in Jurassic Park. Right? It would be that you could make a horror movie out of him chasing you with that trombone. Really, you could
easily.
You could do it. But he's playing Rocky music, Final Fantasy Victory music. He's even playing to the tune of the stomps that his teammates are doing in the corner.
Yeah,
which was brilliant, right? Just some of the stuff he's doing, and it's come to a point now where the New Day as a group are just so obnoxious and so annoying. It's actually amazingly entertaining how obnoxious.
The worst part is, like, you still see all these groups like, I fucking hate the New Day. It's like, you know what? I love the New Day.
You know what? Because they're doing their job, right? They're obnoxious. They're like I said, they're annoying. They're idiotic. They're just crazy at times. But they're entertaining. They're entertaining heels that fulfill their role. Considering how Raw is at the moment, I'll take Big E doing his gyrating any day over half the stuff they put on there. So, now I'll tell you what though, you put all that stuff about them being entertaining. When it's time to get into people's faces, there was a part here where Big E gets into Bubba Ray's face, just basically shoving him around. Everything I like that intensity.
Oh, the old man.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, old man?
Yeah.
It's like, I like it.
It's brilliant. I thought this was a good match. I did get the feeling, though, I don't know whether you got this feeling as well, though, that they were holding off some bits here and there for, obviously, the later matches that are going to happen.
Yeah.
between these crew. I've said it since the Dudleys came in. They're winning the tag team titles at TLC. So they're clearly holding off a few spots until then, but they still pulled off a good match. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Look, when it looks like Dudley Boys have got it won. Xavier Woods comes in, causes the DQ. So he comes in just in the nick of time. The Velociraptor smell blood, so he attacked.
Strikes.
Shock. He should have attacked him with the trombone. That would have been hilarious, but alas, not to be. And with all their stuff talking about save the tables and those goddamn table poachers, when they've got the Dudleys down and out, they tell Xavier Woods, go get the tables. So,
Yeah.
like good heels, their word is literally worth shit, and they don't care at all about tables, which is hilarious in its own right.
It's like, save the tables, unless the Dudleys are going through it.
Exactly. That's where the enthusiasm for this groundbreaking movement they have ends, when they've got the opportunity to put the Dudleys through one. Except with Xavier Woods is like basically getting ready and getting all excited for it. Dudleys clear the ring. They drive him through the table, and he chooses to sell it, Xavier Woods, as if he has been tasered. He's
It was
fucking
the greatest face, though. Like, that freeze frame before he fell, he proper went through the table, just like, boosh. It's like, pictures, what was it, like the saying, like a picture's worth 1,000 words sort of thing. It's like, that was gold.
That was brilliant, yeah. And even, like I said, the way that he sold it afterwards, where he's like fucking, his body popping on the fucking table, just go like, because it looks like he's been electrically shocked.
Yeah.
Through the table. It's just brilliant. It's funny. It's an oversell, but come on, it's the New Day. That's sort of their characters, they're over the top. I don't mind him selling it as if he had like 20,000 volts.
It's an oversell, but it's not a Michaels Hogan oversell.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Mona Lisa of oversells, that match.
Yeah.
HBK Hogan. And every now and then, I go back and watch that match and just laugh my tits off. It's so good. Just even the look on Hogan's face as Shawn Michaels is bouncing like a pinball off the fucking ropes.
Like, you dick, brother.
What the fuck are you doing, brother?
Stop being a dick.
Stop being a dick. I mean a dick, brother. The racist bastard. Anyway, moving forward. But yeah, I honestly, New Day are like one of my most favourite things going on in WWE at the moment. And the very fact that when this team debuted, I would have slapped the taste out of someone's mouth if they had said to me, down the line, Tony, these are going to be one of your favourite groups, one of your favourite things about the show in general. I'd be like, shut up, no.
Like, nah.
They turned it around, and I give them props for that. So, Charlotte versus Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship. Matt, I've said this quite a lot about the women's matches. I was not a fan of this match.
I wasn't either.
No. It's... Considering the finish, right, which was Charlotte winning the Divas Championship. We'll get into all the reasons why that brings up some controversy in itself, considering her loss on Raw, right, and the record being broken. Because the end goal was Charlotte to win the championship, I thought that this match didn't build up to the crescendo that it ought to have.
I felt it started feeling awkward.
Yeah, at a certain point. Well, when all the offense was Nikki Bella.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I don't mind that so much, especially the face getting beaten down, doesn't look like she's going to win. But it wasn't so much as a comeback. There wasn't like a series of moves. There wasn't, like she gradually built up momentum. It literally just was two moves in the final part of the match, which was a spear and a figure eight. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no build up to the end. It was just the end. And it seemed a little bit like, okay, that's it, right? That's it. That's
yep.
it. Over.
So what more do you want? It just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. And in terms of title matches, when you put this up to Charlotte's matches in NXT, man, this is nowhere close. Not even at all. But she wins the Divas Championship less than 1 week after Nikki broke the record, so she only got 6 days on that record, and then she lost the title.
Do you know one thing I quite liked, actually? It was on the commentary team. They referred they actually referenced, because they were like, oh, because throughout all the title matches, like, here are some of the great teams who have held the titles over the years. And, like, they even referenced, like, Fabulous Moolah and things like that. And it's just JBL just like, different title, doesn't count.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Even with
Like,
saying that.
yeah, it is a completely different title. But you can't really go, here are some of the great Divas champions of old. Maurice?
Yeah. Eve Torres? Brie Bella? Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't have the same impact as Alita, Trish Stratus, Mae Young, Fabulous Moolah, Alundra Blaze, all this lot, right? Just doesn't have nearly the same weight to it. And I've said this before, right? Because they want to go back and they want to make the Divas Championship seem like a big thing. And fair enough. But you made an active choice not to have the Women's Championship around. This is a championship that has been around for fucking hell, like so long.
I mean, we're talking longer than the United States. We must be talking longer than the United States.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure it is. Right? If not, it's been around longer than the majority of championships out there, right? It's a very long title championship with a lot of history, with a lot of phenomenal female athletes, and they chose to go with changing it to the Divas title, which I thought was idiotic then. I think it's idiotic now. But then you can't then say, I mean, you make your bed, lie in it. You can't then say, oh, these phenomenal champions. And it's like, but that's a different belt. You chose to get rid of that belt. It highlights the stupid decision that they made. And they're saying, oh, it's the longest Divas Championship run. That's great, right? It's still less than a year. How long did the likes of Fabulous Moolah hold that championship? You're talking years, her reigns were, right? So it's, it doesn't hold nearly as much weight, but still.
It's like, I love seeing the picture of, like, it's like a top, like, the reference pictures, and it's just like one of Nikki. It's just like, I'm the longest reigning Divas champion. There's just Fabulous Moolah underneath, just like, well, that's cute.
Yeah, exactly right. It's I tell you what though, it does show off what we said before, that her beating the record was completely and utterly just to wipe AJ out of the history books, essentially. And so now when they're talking about longest reigning, they don't have to talk about AJ anymore. They just talk about Nikki Bella, right? And like I said, I'm not surprised that he did it literally at the next event, because if Nikki Bella leaves for some reason, they decide, well, fuck that bitch, we want a new longest reigning champion, then all they have to do is outdo themselves by 6 days, which isn't that much, right? So I just thought it was quite funny in that sense. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of this match. It didn't have much psychology.
It was the tweak. Like, I kind of liked the targeting and all things like that. Like, Charlotte tweaked her knee, so Nikki was just like, haha, the knee, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, that's wrestling. But it just started getting really awkward, especially when they were like, you've got, like, people in the crowd, like, proper gunning for Charlotte, and she's essentially, I don't want to use the word, but I can't think of a better way to do it. But it literally came across like she was jobbing for Nikki Bella.
Yeah, I don't have as much a problem with that if the crescendo at the end of the match
if it actually
builds up to it. But it didn't. Yeah, so I mean, your criticism is completely 100% right, because it would have been fine if they had played up to it and Nikki, and Charlotte slowly gets back into the match, slowly takes control, then gets the victory. But it was so sudden, the finish of the match. It was pretty much done, right? So yeah, I firmly agree with you. I just didn't think there was, the pacing of the match was off,
Yeah.
But still, Charlotte as the champion, the first of the new batch of women to come up and win that belt. Certainly don't have a problem with Charlotte. Everyone knows our thoughts, that we do think Charlotte is a phenomenal talent. I will say, however, them constantly bringing out Ric Flair gives a bit of heat on the fire to those who think they're playing up the Ric Flair angle too much, and it's making it a lot harder for us to defend them doing it at this point.
Yeah.
Right? So, still. I'm hoping...
I kind of like the way... I was trying to think. I was going to say I kind of like, but I'm kind of looking forward to, like, I've seen snippets of Raw, like, you can't escape it. I'm looking forward to what's going to be going on now.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously we're going to talk. I've seen the clip as well. There's a new heel about, shall we say, and if we were asking for the groups to be broken up, then we kind of got our wish. I get the feeling, hopefully, that WWE is, I'm hoping, really, but don't see much evidence of it, but I'm hoping that this division can sort of put all of its ducks in a row and start sort of sorting itself out a little bit. You've got the talent, you just have to use them correctly, and hopefully, with the way they're doing things now, we can move away from the stigma of old and start going towards, hopefully, a bright new future for these women, because that's what we all want. The Wyatt family versus Reigns, Ambrose, and their mystery partner. Whenever I say that, I always think of, like, The Price is Right or something. Yeah. Through the mystery door! And, through this mystery door.
Like you have the boat, that's safe, but you could trade it all in for what's in the mystery box.
Everyone trades for the mystery box. Everyone does. It's just the allure of it, isn't it? That's it. And to their credit, they certainly had someone that I didn't think was going to be, in there, which was Chris Jericho. Jericho came on out, got a monster pop actually.
The one thing I love is that it further emphasises the fact that he loves it. And he's also really good, or WWE in general can actually be really good at when he decides he's going to be a surprise entrant.
Well, you say that, Matt, right?
I'd heard rumours, but then I'd heard rumours that it could have been The Rock, or it could have been Randy Orton actually coming back. But it kind of had that similar feel. I mean, not as me, and unfortunately, I'm going to assume, unfortunately, not for you, when it's just sort of like, oh, I'm not really going to stay up until 1 a.m. Ah, shit.
Oh yeah, and then you get. I didn't get spoiled, so I watched it pure, if you like to say. But even then, right, I wasn't as excited as most people were of Jericho coming in. I like Jericho. I'm a fan of Jericho, sure. But it's one of those things that he's returned so often now, and when often he returns, guess what? He loses. Almost all the time.
Yeah.
It's become a point now where I'm not nearly as excited if Jericho's the one coming out, because it doesn't mean as much now.
I'm still excited. I'm a Jericho fan.
You're a Jericho-holic, aren't you?
I am a Jericho-holic.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm a fan. I didn't get out of my seat. I didn't grab my hair and go, "What the hell?" It was just like, "Oh, okay." They went to him. He seems like the safe bet for a mystery man nowadays, sort of thing, right?
He's really good. They're really good at keeping him quiet, because he was the surprise number 1, or surprise number 2 at Royal Rumble.
I don't know. It just didn't feel that way to me here. I was a little bit like, oh, okay. I wasn't nearly as excited, shall we say. Let's say if it was someone new or someone, different legend, maybe I would have been a little bit more excited, but...
I'm just thankful it wasn't Corbin.
Yeah, I mean, even then, though, if it was Corbin, I think I would have been a little bit more enthusiastic about the match in general.
I don't know how they could have played it out.
No, I don't know either, to be honest. I tell you what, though, is that our prediction was right. If it was a new guy coming in, then we had said that they were going to pin Harper. That wasn't the case. If it was someone, coming back, or someone, on the roster, I mean, what I meant was someone that's already established, right, was going to be their partner. Then I said Braun Strowman would be the one that beats them.
Yeah.
We were exactly correct. That's exactly what happened. I thought the match was okay. Jericho tags himself in when it looks like Roman Reigns has got everything wrapped up, and then he proceeds to basically just go, "Oh, I'm tagging myself in. Oh, I'm getting choked out by Braun Strowman.
So, why is this big guy after a cuddle?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Oh, no.
Now I can't hear anything. Oh, okay. So yeah, Jericho gets choked out. He loses the match for his team. He fades. And I like the fact that they're doing this thing now. I wasn't as much of a fan of them doing, putting the arm up 3 times. Now they're just doing, if he's wobbly, then just call the match off. That seems a lot more realistic to me. That if he's knocked out, he's knocked out. You've got to stop the match for their safety. So, yeah, he literally just went wobbly. The referee checked it, called to the bell immediately. Fair enough. After the match, they're talking to Jericho. Jericho's pissed. He even shoulder checks Ambrose on the way out, which got a big boo for what they're doing. Maybe it sets up like a mini rivalry for Jericho and Ambrose or Reigns. Don't know, but
I've heard it may be the case.
Yeah. I mean, it seems a bit odd if it isn't the case and Jericho just did it as a one-shot thing. That would seem really weird to me. It's sort of counterproductive.
Yeah, apparently it's going to be a Jericho-Ambrose feud.
And if that's the case, I've got no problem with that, to be honest. I think that's it gives something unique for Ambrose to do. I'm sure they can have good matches, but obviously we'll have to watch Raw and see what the thing is with that.
The fallout is. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, Jericho's been working live shows anyway, right? It's not as if he hasn't been around.
He's been working live shows for ages.
Yeah, he was on the Beast in the East. He did that whole
tour. He does his whole Y2J summer tours and things like that.
Yeah, where he goes on and works with whoever basically he wants.
He does indie. Well, I was about to say he does indie. He essentially just does WWE house shows. He won't do TV.
That's it.
Now he's back on TV.
That's right. The last time we all saw Jericho on main WWE programming was Tough Enough. Let's hope he does something a little bit more entertaining and exciting than
Yeah. Actually, talking of Tough Enough, like, they showed a lot of the Breaking Ground footage.
Oh, yeah. The new show. Yeah.
Yeah. That looks quite good, actually. I'm actually probably going to catch that.
Yeah, same here, yeah.
I swear one of the guys in the video was Josh. That kind of makes sense.
It would make sense. Well, I don't know. They may have been taking it during the filming some of it during the Tough Enough stuff, so he may have been working some stuff there. Possibly.
I mean, not to say the fact that it's like he can't, like, I know he won, but it's like, and why can't he be in it? He's now technically an NXT talent. I was just sort of like, hang on a second.
But if they want to do good programming, I firmly believe for that show they should be devoting a little bit of the time to the winners of that show. Yeah. I'd be very shocked if they didn't. I think people would be interested in seeing the progress of these people. Yeah, the Tough Enough show itself was a bit of a flop, but even this show, the thing about Breaking Ground is that it's not one of these shows that needs, a million views each week. It doesn't. It's on the WWE Network, right? Yeah. It's to supplement their programming that's already there. So yeah, they should definitely be giving some. I think people will be interested in seeing how they're developing, what their matches are like, what they're feeling about being in development.
Yeah,
stuff like this. I think that's entertaining.
I think it looks like it's going to be a really good show. I'm actually quite looking forward to that.
That's it. And the fact is that they showed plenty of the guy I said is going to be the next big thing.
Well, their future,
and his name is Apollo Crews. They had plenty of shots of him in there. He's the Mac Daddy. Telling you guys now, he is the Mac Daddy. I'm telling you that. There's a lot of Uhaa Nation fans out there quite happy with us, I imagine, but. Hey, I can only see it as I see it, and I see him as being a future big star. You're in the same sort of thoughts, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be much bigger than people think. I think he's top draw.
That man right there, he'd be money.
He'd be money right there. He's got money all over him. That's what I'd say. John Cena in the first of the title matches involving Seth Rollins. They literally did match and then match straight afterwards. So they set up like a gauntlet for Rollins. Rollins was rocking his white gear, which I'm guessing now is his pay-per-view gear. And fair enough, makes the matches.
I like his white gear.
Yeah, his white gear rocks. But to save it for the pay-per-view matches, that's exactly what they should do.
With that.
Yeah. He goes on to put on the match of the night against John Cena. I thought
easily.
Easily match of the night. John Cena doesn't have any sort of chemistry with Randy Orton, but guess what? He's definitely got some with Seth Rollins. Easy. I've had two very good matches back to back. And one thing I will say, Matt, is that as much as we dislike the way he's used, John Cena's making a very big push for Male Wrestler of the Year on this show. If he continues to have matches of this quality over the course of this year, it's going to be very hard for us to overlook him. And we're not big fans of Cena, but the quality of matches he's had this year speak for themselves. There's whether or not we like it or not, we have to be objective. So I'd say fair play to Cena for that. But and while I enjoyed the match, and I definitely did, here's my thing that I was alluding to earlier on. I did love this match. I thought it was a lot of fun. Didn't you think it was a bit weird when Rollins didn't kick out of the only AA he received in this match to lose the belt? Considering he's already been in matches with Cena and kicked out of multiple. In fact, Cena's WWE's been very insistent on everyone that faces Cena can kick out of the AA once.
Yeah.
So doesn't it seem a bit odd then? Rollins takes one of them, just beat him.
One thing I think is, I was thinking to myself, it's like, how great of a to book it, like to get some guy over as like a proper heel. But like, do you remember like when we used to play like the old WWE games where it's just like, this is a really big match, I'm kind of struggling, I know what I'll do. I'll beat the shit out of the guy on the outside and just force a count out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how good would that be? Just as a proper heel, just to sort of get that across and just sort of like, I know I've got 2 matches, so do you know what I'm going to do? Come on, John. Like, power bomb to a turn, but like his buckle bomb, but onto the proper buckle post.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Just goes, okay, I can get DQ'd and keep on, yeah.
Yeah. What does it matter? They keep mentioning, the champion's advantage. And when was the last time WWE actually maximised on a champion using said advantage?
I mean, this would be the ideal time for them to use it because it's not the main event. I don't like them finishing main events, right?
Oh, no.
But, yeah, I mean, it's before the main event. But obviously they wanted that belt back on Cena, right? That's just obviously the way that it ended up. But to me, it just seemed a little bit like you've had everyone. I mean, almost everyone. And fucking Stardust did it, right? He kicked out of the AA, right? So everyone kicking out of the AA has damaged it in the eyes of myself and every viewer. So it was the first time that I saw it, and I was like, huh? Really? Like that?
Yeah.
That's what finished him there? It was like, I was waiting for the kick out, and I was like, oh, it beat him. So the the way that we perceive the AA has been damaged by WWE's insistence of, just have everyone kick out of that move.
That's it.
Except the world champion, right? Seems a bit odd to me, but still. After the match, Rollins tries to take his remaining championship and walk out, but then he gets another AA on the outside by Cena, and he gets chucked back into the ring. And then the Stinger comes out for his match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Rollins has been through a war. He's sweaty. He's not exactly happy to be wrestling in another match. Sting, on the other hand, for a man of his age, which is he's closer to 60 than he is 50, looks in tremendous shape for someone his age. I mean, he came out in full ring gear, not the shirt that he was rocking on Raw, on Monday. He looked like he belonged, right? He looked like he tried so hard to look like he could do everything that anyone else, even people that, certainly in Seth Rollins' case, 20 years younger than he is.
Yeah.
Everything that they can do, I can do as well.
I was going to say, talking to Seth Rollins, like we're probably looking 30 years younger.
Yeah, right. That's some of the problem with what eventually happened. Sting took so many hectic and savage bumps, and I was thinking to myself throughout the course of this match, like, obviously my respect for him is going through the roof with this match, because it was like, wow, this guy's taken some fucking hits, right? He's going all out. He wants to give people here their money's worth. He wants to take bumps, and he wants to, take exactly. He was taking buckle bombs. There was a point here he was driven through a table, and it still had the monitors on it, and it looked like he landed like his head on the monitor.
Oh, it looked brutal, yeah.
Yeah, which to me isn't so much like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Kudos to Sting for taking it, but it's a little bit like that was a little bit careless. Like that was very easily an injury waiting to happen with that, and that's not so much. Oh, you have to be careful with the old man. You could have done the same thing with Seth Rollins, and it would have been just as dangerous, right? There's a reason why you take those monitors off, right? Randy Orton got fucking mutilated. Like I remember watching that at WrestleMania 30. You remember that? And he went through the table with Daniel Bryan, and his back landed on a monitor. Oh, it was one of the most horrific things I'd seen. Luckily, he was fine, but it was awkward. And then he goes on to take the second turnbuckle powerbomb by Rollins. And as he does this, I'm thinking to myself, like, how much more can Sting take it? I mean, he's taken all this damage in this match. He's got to eventually give up, and sure, I almost jinxed myself a little bit by saying that, because there was an awkward moment where he came back off the turnbuckle from that. It looked like he was going to hit back Rollins, but then he stopped, and he sort of mini collapsed in the corner. Rollins tried to, do his best he can. He tried to Irish whip Sting, And literally on the way past, Sting couldn't stand. He just collapsed.
Yeah.
And it was pretty easy to see from that point that this was not part of the plan. This was not part of the design
Well,
of the
apparently,
match.
he legit picked up an injury from one of the buckle bumps.
Yeah, that second buckle bomb apparently is what did it. Right. Now, he's got a very severe neck injury. And it was something to do with his kidneys, I believe, that happened, something along those lines. Whatever it was something that, at that moment in time, Sting was trying to walk, he was trying to run, and his body was saying, no, you ain't doing that, right? So
What are you doing, crazy person?
So he collapses, and I'm thinking, Jesus, he's tried so hard to make it this, seem, to take all the bumps that anyone else could, which no one's asking him to do, by the way. No one's asking him to take 2 buckle bombs and be driven through a table with monitors in it. No one's asking that of him. All we're asking for him is to do the best he can and perform a decent match. And guess what? He was doing that before all this happened anyway. Right? He was doing great. He was getting chance of, you still got it. And guess what? He does.
Yeah.
So the doctor comes in, checks on him for a few minutes. Rollins is obviously playing to the crowd, trying to make time for Sting. It came to a point where I honestly thought that there was going to be a moment where the doctor would just, mention, ring the bell, it's done, I'm not going to let him compete. But Sting's literally throwing the guy off. He wants to give these people their money's worth and a satisfying conclusion to this match. And I was genuinely surprised that he managed to continue in the fashion that he did. So he carried on. Doctor got out of there. Obviously, he's still staying at ringside, ready for Sting when he finishes the match to look on him. And they literally go straight to the finish of the match, which is Scorpion Deathlock. And Rollins manages to reverse it into a cradle and pins him. Pins Sting, retains his championship. 1, 2, 3.
To be fair, it was quite a nice little cradle.
It was a nice little cradle. The only thing I will say, though, is that injury aside, because apparently if the injury is as bad as what we think it is, Sting might not ever come back. I mean, seriously, at his age, any injury has a risk of that. This looks like it's a serious injury that he accrued in this match. And honestly, I'm not surprised, right? So if it is, this could be the last match Sting ever has, right? And if that's the case, then okay. But it means that his WWE run now, if they want to have another match with Sting, it looks so bad on Sting as a character that Rollins went through that entire match with Cena, was beaten, got AA'd on the outside, had the match with Sting, which he took some damage as well, and was still able to beat him. Right? He lost that match against Rollins, even though Cena was able to beat him, a good 20 minutes before the rest of the stuff that Rollins had done. Right? It does look bad on him. There's no way of getting around it. But the other part of the coin is, at this point in Sting's career, if you do want anything to do with him, if you didn't have any plans with him going forward, then having Rollins beat him, the younger guy, the guy that will wrestle for you each week, does make some more sense. It would have made more sense if Sting had beaten Triple H, because Triple H isn't wrestling that much at the moment. So that's the point of it there. But still, because people might say, well, Rollins is going to be wrestling Triple H soon, so your argument isn't valid. It is, because Triple H can easily bring up the fact that he beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania not too long ago, right? That's a pretty big deal, right? He can bring that up. He can say as much as he likes. Sting has no victories on pay-per-view for WWE.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, Sting is essentially just under the weight of his name.
Yeah, right. The way he's been booked is if he's, especially in this match, if he's a bit of a scrub for losing to Rollins in this fashion. After the match, Sheamus comes barreling down, and Rollins tries to block him, but he gets a bro kick, so Sheamus is violently trying to get the briefcase cashed in. That's it. And it's not getting cashed in when the referee is taking his due time, taking that briefcase and actually doing something with it.
What a shock.
And of course, Kane, well, not of course, it was a bit of a shock. Kane returns, masked Kane, more importantly.
Proper Kane.
And he comes in, choke slams both men, and then leaves the show standing tall. So Kane is back. He'll obviously be challenging Seth Rollins for the world title, of which he will not win. I can tell you that now. WWE, man, they're going to have to convince a lot of people that this Kane is suddenly the demon again after all the months of him basically being a bit of a puss, right? He's basically been a pussy for about 18 months.
Backstage segment from Raw that looks quite funny, to be fair.
What, involving Kane?
Involving Kane, where it's almost just like they're just like, give us the mask back. It's like, I don't know what you're on about. It's like the mask that was right here. It's like, you've lost my mask.
We'll have to watch that. I'll have to see how it goes. But I mean, it's a little bit along the lines of like, if they want to do this, it's a little bit like, okay, right? It's I said this before, right? Fine if he's going to be a challenger. I don't have a problem with Kane coming back, but man, whenever I look at Kane now, all I can remember is him handing out candy canes to people.
Yeah.
Right? That's all I can think of now. So, and it's WWE expecting us not to remember that stuff. That's a little bit insulting, but still, he's a decent enough.
We say that, but WWE love to insult.
They do. So that's the show. Sting, hopefully he gets better soon. Apparently he is not in the best of ways. His manager put out a statement praising him, as he should do, for a man that age to perform in the manner he did. I just think maybe it was quite reckless for him to take that, especially the manner of the bumps he did.
Yeah.
Right. No one, I tell you what, no one was expecting or wanting him to take that sort of damage in this match. And that table, I don't even know why that table. I mean, obviously it was planned, right? But why did someone not just take the monitors off it early? I have no clue, because that could have been very, very hazardous. And hell, it may have played into the injury that he got. It might have softened him up.
That's it.
So when he had that buckle bomb, man, I don't know what's going on. So, as a big Sting fan that I am, I hope he's fine. I do appreciate his effort, because he gave far more effort than other legends in his position would have, especially at the age he's at. So definitely huge props for Sting. But the show in general, Matt. Let's talk about the show in general. What was your overall thought of the show?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was worth a watch. I would go back and watch the last hour again, possibly, but anything before that, I wouldn't rush back to see anything else on the show, but anything involving Rollins in that last hour was pretty entertaining, shall we say. Yeah, I thought it was worth a watch, definitely. I think that some people maybe... I've heard general consensus was people were fine with it. It didn't blow anyone out of the water, but it certainly didn't waste anyone's time. And I would agree with that assessment. I think that's roughly the same what we go with. We normally, when we review things, we say, normally our top thing is go back, watch it again. That's our top accolade. Then you've got it's worth the watch, not worth your time, and then fucking abomination. That's normally what we go by.
Yeah.
This is worth a watch. It's fine. It certainly moves things up. Maybe closes a few rivalries, opens up a few rivalries. And hopefully on Raw they can pick up their game a bit. Because as we said, we've heard reports of Vince McMahon not being too happy with the way things are going at the moment. So, hey, when Vince McMahon's unhappy, then the changes will happen. That's the only time changes will happen on the show. So, match of the night, easily. Rollins and
Cena Rollins.
Yeah, easily. Those guys have got some serious chemistry. And it seems like whenever Rollins is put in that position, he just he comes alive, almost. On Raw, it's a little bit like he's going through the motions. Because he's overexposed on these pay-per-views. When he gets a chance to show everyone just how good he is, it's like he said, he just wakes up, comes alive, shows everyone.
It's like, game time, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. And he does it, so awesome stuff. Apart from that, we hope you guys did enjoy the event. We hope you guys did enjoy our review. If you did, you can always subscribe to the channel. And you can catch our regular episodes that happen on the weekend. Every weekend, we're slowly etching towards episode 100. You can follow us at Twitter, Go on, Matt, you do it.
Talk Wrestle Pod.
That's it, you do it so well.
It's like at Twitter. It's like, that's...
Yeah, well, see, maybe that's not the reason...
Not how social media works, dude.
Everyone knows my lack of knowledge for the Twitter space, shall we say. I'm not exactly...
For the Twitter space.
The Twitters, yeah. Oh, that Twitter! Oh, yes, fantastic. Hashtag awesome. I don't... That's just proved I don't know much about what's going on there, but still. Is it weird that I'm one of the weird people that I initially thought hashtags were what you put before a number? Hashtags.
What, you mean like they're supposed to be?
Yeah, like we do on the episodes, of the other thing. Yeah,
unless it's on Twitter.
So yeah, we hope you catch the episode of the weekend if you are new to the show. And is there anything other plugging? Oh yes, the intro competition. Yes, if you want to win the very first Let's Talk Wrestling t-shirt, you can send us a 30-minute intro for our show.
30-minute?
Oh, 30 minutes. Jesus, that's a long one. 30 seconds. Sorry. It's late, Matt. It's late when we're doing this podcast, okay?
I was like, yeah, but they're not doing their own show.
They're not doing their own show, yeah. Man, if they could do a 30-minute intro, then they deserve to win. Jesus Christ. But no, 30-second intro for the show. And if you can impress us, then you're in a chance of winning the first ever Let's Talk Wrestling t-shirt. And if you impress us but don't win, you might be in the running for some goodies from us regardless. So a good competition there for the Let's Talk Wrestling episode 100. That's what we're gunning it for. Apart from that, hope you had a great week. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And we'll catch you all next time. Oh yeah, sorry, before I go that, you send those intros to letstalkwrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. There you go. Plugs complete.
We got there.
Almost missed that. Would you like to say goodbye first, Matt?
Goodbye first, Matt.
Then I just end the podcast. Right? That's it.
All right. Good night from me, and it's good night from him.
Yeah, that's it. And we'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.